The ending of the second episode of Daredevil Born Again features cops who of course are wearing and or tattooing themselves with the Punisher's iconic logo. This is something that's happening in real life. Well, Marvel Studios is going to tackle this directly in the future, and they let us know that that's coming, and that's what they were setting up in episode 2. The showrunner of Daredevil Born Again has been teasing that Punisher moment from episode 2. Now, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, you should probably watch the series. If you are, let's talk about the cops having Punisher branding and tattoos. Specifically, the cop who we saw that literally tried to kill Matt, a blind lawyer, how he has it tattooed on his, well, forehead, right? So there is more to this than meets the eye. Now, this again comes at us from the showrunner of Daredevil Born Again, and here's what he had to say, and I quote, "Yes, that tattoo should be a hint. There is a Frank Castle storyline that is, I think, deep and rich and has been begging to be told. It was in one of the comics, but Frank's appearance is not random. It comes back to the idea of who is a vigilante, who's good, who's bad, and Frank is one of those incredibly galvanizing characters. Frank comes into our world with a purpose. That purpose is executed. Does it have something to do with these men that we see in that apartment? Yes." End quote. Okay, so most people know which direction they're taking this in, right? Because you know that the Punisher is anti-cops. He's literally like, at one point, idolized Captain America and the views of America, but due to how the corruption in the system, and especially the cops and the law works, he's against it. And the Punisher is 100% against cops using that logo, because again, he hunts them down, but also using it during corruption, because they don't understand the fundamentals of who Frank is. And him teasing this and then adding a little bit more in a separate quote related to John Bernthal, he also had this to say, and I quote, "That discussion and that dichotomy and the feelings, emotions, and conversation about that specific issue is tackled in this season, and I think it's tackled really well. And I think John in particular knows how to voice that discussion probably better than anybody." End quote. Okay, so you guys definitely get that they're going to tackle this head on. And it makes sense. The Punisher is a top-selling character for Marvel and Disney, but a lot of people fundamentally do not understand the Punisher. Media literacy is not a lot of people's strong suit, and they see a gun-toting, violent maniac, and they go, oh, well, of course cops idolize him and he idolizes the cops. But they don't watch the product or have read the comic or anything like that. Chances are that they're basing a lot of what they know on the Punisher film that did more damage to the Punisher brand than anything, aka Thomas Jane's version, where he is a former cop, and that's something that they want to clear up. So I'm glad that they seem to be tackling this head on, as it's important, and as a Punisher fanatic, I'm glad that we're finally going to get there and give us that angle on it, because it needs to be said. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.